What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 469. Nice. Of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's KB coming at you with a big time victory solo dolo episode of the podcast. We got a lot to dive into, from the Philadelphia Phillies doing the damn thing, the Philadelphia Eagles 4-0, and the Miami Marlins. Yes, we are officially standing the Miami Marlins on this podcast. We'll get into that later. We'll get into the Union's unfortunate loss over the weekend to Charlotte, which could potentially knock them out of the Supporters Shield race. Not 100% sure because I didn't look at the West standings. Yeah, the Union more than likely out of the Supporters Shield race, but we'll get into all of that as well. But before we get started, make sure you guys are following us on the socials. Do the damn thing at Underground PHI on Twitter and Instagram. Shout out to an OG listener of the pod, OG supporter, OG follower, Alex, the GOAT. She noticed we're very close to 3,000 Twitter followers, and I threw it out there. If we get to 3K before the bye week, we will do a massive giveaway, and we will put the bat signal out to celebrate getting to 3,000 Twitter followers. So make sure you guys go follow us on Twitter and on Instagram at Underground PHI. Follow me on Twitter down below at KBIZZL311. Check out the website, undergroundsportsphiladelphia.com, for all of our written content. Subscribe to the podcast feed. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. Subscribe there. Rate and review 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. On your 5-star review, let us know what you would want us to give away, potentially, when we hit that 3K mark. How you're feeling about the Eagles, Sixers, Phillies, Union, maybe the hockey team if you're still subjecting yourself to that. But subscribe to the podcast feed. It really goes a long way with more people finding the podcast, helps us continue to grow and be able to do big-time shit with you guys. So go subscribe to our podcast feed on Apple and Spotify. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. And, of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, where you get full video episodes of every podcast on our network. We're on that hashtag Road to 1K Gauntlet Challenge grind still. We're at 245 YouTube subscribers right now. 245. When we get to 1,000, all of our shows on the network will be doing something pertaining to their podcast. We have 2 legs of the gauntlet thrown down so far. Streamer season, myself and Dylan Mazzola. I will be watching season 1 of Game of Thrones. Dylan will be cosplaying as a character from a show or movie that we have rated or discussed on the podcast, all decided upon by you. Top Bins with Matt and Dom, they will be kicking it back to 2006 and rewatching, breaking down, and going through all of the events of Italy and Germany back in the 2006 World Cup. You still have to look forward to myself and Matt on Underground Sports Philadelphia on this show, DJ and I on Outside the Box, Ben and Steve on Get in the Hole, and then Pitts and OC on Loaded Box. So it's 4 more legs of the Gauntlet Challenge that need to be thrown down. Plus the Dan Russo Show. We might throw something down. Eagles Enemies, I might personally throw something down. So you got a lot to look forward to. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, just search Underground Sports Philadelphia on YouTube. Smash that like button. Ring the bell icon. Go Phils. Comment down below your thoughts on the Phils, the Eagles, and everything in between. We want to get that comment section flowing. Talk to me, people. Talk to me nice. But subscribe to the YouTube. Shout out to our sponsors who make this show happen. Main Auto LLC, Ducharme's Pro Foot. Unfortunately, Ducharme's will be closing at the end of this month. It is October. Happy October, everybody. But Ducharme's will be closing their doors for good at the end of this month, so I do want to thank them for all of their support over the years. They've been an OG supporter and sponsor of this show. Sad to see them shutting their doors after 40 years of incredible service here in South Jersey. But can't thank them enough for all of their support and love over the years. But go support them in their final few weeks because I got some great stuff over at Ducharme's. Security 21 Security Systems, Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated, and the Dental Wellness Center of Vineland. Tomahawk Shades, the best small batch eyewear in the game. Go to tomahawkshades.com. Use code USP for 25% off your order at tomahawkshades.com. Kenwood Beer, it's the official beer of the Underground, official beer of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Go to kenwoodbeer.com. Crack open an ice cold Kenny when you're watching the Birds, the Phils, or anybody else, anything else you're watching. Use that all-new and improved Kenny tracker to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia area. You got to be 21 or older to do so. And, of course, guys, please drink responsibly. And the pals over at Bino. Go to binoboard.com. They are dropping new World Cup-inspired boards every single week leading up to the World Cup, the newest installment, Team Brazil. Go to binoboard.com and use code BINOUSP for 10% off your order at binoboard.com. That's code BINOUSP, BINHOUSP for 10% off your order from our pals over at Bino. Let's get into it, everybody. The Philadelphia Eagles hit the fight song. Good grief, they get the job done against Dougie P. Coming back to town. Gets a phenomenal ovation on his way into the stadium. Emotional. After the game, gets a jersey jacket swap with Jason Kelce. Jalen Hurts thanking Doug for drafting him. He wouldn't be an Eagle without Doug Peterson. And the Eagles get a 29-21 victory. The first time, really, that the Eagles have faced true adversity this season. They go down early 14-0 in this one in the first quarter. And then second quarter comes storming back, 20 unanswered points. And then, pardon the yawn, 20 unanswered to go up 20-14 at halftime. And then fourth quarter points, the Eagles finally score some points in the fourth quarter this season. They put up 9 in the fourth to make it 29. Jaguars get a late touchdown as well. To then go on to win 29-21. Jalen Hurts goes 16 of 25 in the rain. As he said, it was raining sideways out there. Jalen Hurts, unbelievable. 204 yards and on the ground, 38 yards rushing on 16 carries, 1 touchdown on the ground. He did throw the 1 interception that got returned for a touchdown. Miles Sanders, have yourself a day, brother. I'm glad for Miles Sanders shutting up everybody. You know, there have been moments in my Eagles fandom with Miles Sanders here that I'm just like, I don't know if he has it. I love him. I just don't know if he has it. And he showed he had it and then some today. 27 carries, 134 yards on the ground, averaging 5 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Gainwell also scores a touchdown in this game. Trey Sermon, Sunday Sermon, shout out Real Mama Eagle, gets his first carries in an Eagles uniform as well, and they were both very much needed. No receiving touchdowns in this game from the Birds, though. A.J. Brown leads the team in receiving yards in this game, 95 yards on 5 catches. Dallas Goedert, 5 catches, 72 yards. Not much from Devontae in the receiving game this week. But then you look at the defense as well. T.J. Edwards, he has that dog in him. 4 tackles, a sack. Hassan Reddick, big-time dog, the home cooking dog. 4 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery. Kaiser White had a fantastic game. Josh Sweat had a fantastic game. James Bradbury with the interception. Hello, how are you? Let's do the damn thing. Thank you to the New York Giants for James Bradbury. Unbelievable that they did not want him. C.J. Gardner-Johnson had a great game. Jordan Davis was fantastic. This was just a very good, gritty team effort win. Everybody was saying it after the game, how they were just proud of everyone for sticking with it, not, bending and, giving up when things got tough. Locker room post-game blasting Meek Mill, dreams and nightmares. Good grief. Hello, we are back. We are back. Just a phenomenal win, a feel-good win. You know, Dougie P gets that much-needed, or much-deserved, I should say, ovation, and then you go and beat them, and the Eagles are now 4-0. First time they are 4-0 since 2004, 18 years ago, back when they went to the Super Bowl the first time in my lifetime. They look fantastic right now. It's unbelievable how poised, how together this team is, and I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that this team is ready to just go on a run. I'm excited for the direction that this team is going in. Nick Sirianni has these guys locked in. Jonathan Gannon's back on my shit list a little bit because you can't let a wide receiver who wears number 39 score a touchdown on you. I'm sorry. Jamal Agnew, you're a very good athlete. Fix your number, pal. Grow up. Number 39 is not a wide receiver number, and I'm sure I probably sound like a jerk because the number 39 probably has some sort of, significant meaning to him. But number 39 as a wide receiver is terrible. It looks bad. Get a new number. You're too talented to be wearing number 39. That's just gross. Ick. Yuck. Get a grip. But, it was next man up mentality. Jordan Mailata and Darius Slay both got injured in this game. And, guys stepped up and they did what they had to do to go out with this game. And it was fantastic to kind of just see the coming out party for Hassan Reddick in an Eagles jersey, kind of showcasing what he truly brings to the table at his position with his skill sets. I was very annoyed A.J. Brown's touchdown got taken off the board earlier in the game because I would have had a very nice parlay on top of A.J. Should have had a touchdown for A.J. Jr. But, for this team to go out, battle in the conditions that they were playing in, not lose any type of, focus or anything, and just go out and beat a good football team. The Jaguars are easily the best team that the Eagles have faced all year, in my opinion. The Vikings are frauds. The Commanders stink, and the Lions are the Lions. They're gonna put up battles each and every week against whoever they play. But I think the Jaguars are the best team that the Eagles have played all season. It was a tough game. The Eagles earned this win, and 4-0. 4-0. It's just really cool, man. It's cool to see this team be good because, I remember back 2020 when we drafted Jalen Hurts, we were all very confused, and then you kind of sit back and you look and it's like, okay, this makes sense, and that's exactly what I did. My initial reaction was like, what the fuck are we doing? And then you take 5 seconds to breathe, and it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And now look, Jalen Hurts is easily a top 7 quarterback in the NFL this season. Don't get it twisted on me, people. I know there are other better quarterbacks in the long haul of their careers in the league, but this season right now, Jalen Hurts is playing at an MVP level. He's quarterbacking the only team that's 4-0 in the NFL. He's continuing to do things that no NFL player has ever done before. And I just love this team, man. They're so fun. We got new artwork coming. Baby. Shout out to my girl D, the GOAT. Linking her Etsy store in the YouTube description as well. Y'all should be buying everything from Dwani. GOAT. Batman Eagles art coming to the studio soon. We got to hang up some of the other art that we've purchased from her down here. But we want to properly do it, have it framed because that's what it deserves. But the Batman are here, baby. Vengeance. This season is vengeance. It's the Vengeance Tour. Welcome aboard. Get on the train. It's the Vengeance Tour 2022. Go Birds. Around the NFL, though, the Cowboys beat the Commanders. The Giants somehow squeak out a win against the Bears. Both of those bets I made early in the season on the Bears and Giants are looking absolutely gross. The Bears is the worst team in football. Giants to win under 6.5 games. The Giants are already halfway to 6. Ugh. But the Eagles are the only 4-0 team. Only 4-0 team. And they get the Cardinals next week. A Cardinals team that has not looked good. They look very dysfunctional. Cardinals are 2-2. They should be 1-3. They should have lost that game to the Raiders. But they beat the Panthers this week. They lost to the Rams, and they lost to the Chiefs. But the Eagles should... I have no doubt in my mind that the Eagles should be able to beat the Cardinals. And then you have the Cowboys coming into town Sunday Night Football before the bye. And I've said on this show, I've said on other shows, I truly believe the Eagles can be undefeated going into the bye week. There's no doubt in my mind. They are better than both of the teams they'll be playing. There might be a QB controversy in Dallas caused by their owner. And, I mean, 6-0 going into the bye week is beautiful. Because then coming out of the bye, the Eagles have the Steelers at home, Texans on a short week on the road, Commanders at home Monday Night Football, Colts on the road, Packers at home, Titans at home, Giants on the road, Bears on the road, Cowboys on the road, Saints at home, Giants at home. Looking pretty nice. It's looking pretty nice. I truly right now do not have any real concern until that Packers game. On paper right now. That's how I feel. I feel so confident in this Eagles team. It's ridiculous. I love Jalen Hurts. I love him. He's the love of my life. It would be a blessing and a joy and an honor to have him on this podcast one day. If we can make that happen somehow, I would love it. And I will officially say, I think if the Eagles hit 6-0 at the bye week, Jalen Hurts goes down here with Gritty, Bryce Harper, and Mike Scott on the YouTube layout. I think that's where we're at. I think that's fair. Man, I love this Eagles team. It's so great when the Eagles win. And it's also great when the Phillies win. Because the Phillies, after an embarrassing one-game loss that they had on Saturday, they bounced back and they won Game 2 of their doubleheader. The Marlins came through and won on Saturday night. And then the Phils get a rain-shortened 7-inning win against the Nationals, 8-1. And then the Miami Marlins come through in extra innings today to beat the Milwaukee Brewers by a final score of 4-3 and take 3 out of 4 from the Milwaukee Brewers to put the Phillies' magic number down to 1. Phils are 1 game away, guys, from clinching a postseason spot for the first time since 2011. The Marlins, they did their job. The Brewers now play the Diamondbacks, so we are all Diamondbacks fans as well, just to be safe. They are the break glass in case of emergency fandom, as the Phillies will take on the Astros today, if you're listening now. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be Lance McCullers taking on Aaron Nola. Which it would be pretty fucking cool if Aaron Nola was able to be the guy that... Aaron Nola would be the guy that steps up and delivers a big-time game in Houston to get the Phillies to the postseason. I have been an Aaron Nola stan since day one. If you've listened to this podcast long enough, you know the story that I was at Aaron Nola's first career start. Lost 1-0 to the Tampa Bay Rays on a home run by Nathan Carnes, the pitcher. And I've just, I was in an environment in 2015 when Aaron Nola made his debut in June of 2015 that it just felt special around him. We were in Ashburn Alley in the standing room section being like, he's our savior. And here we are 7 years later, Aaron Nola having been a key cog in this Phillies wheel of trying to push towards the postseason. And he is the guy that has the opportunity to get the job done and send the Phillies to the postseason for the first time in his career and for the first time since 2011. It would be super special. And I really hope that's what happens. I really hope Nola has a phenomenal game. One of those typical, like, bang, 7-8 inning, big-time strikeouts, has command of his fastball type of games. I can't believe that Monday night at 8:10 p.m., I will be sitting watching a Phillies game that has so much meaning. Like, you guys know, if you've known me personally long enough, or if you're just a podcast listener and you've listened long enough, the Phillies are my number one love. Like, yes, I love the Eagles. Yes, I love the Sixers. Of course, I love lacrosse. And I've come to love the Union a ton more, not just being a bandwagon guy. But the Phillies are my number one love. They were the first professional championship I witnessed in my life. It was on my 15th birthday that they won that World Series. It's just one of those things that you crave it. Like, the Phillies have put us through so much stress and strife over the last decade that you just want it to work. I remember sitting in our old studio when we started this show, hand over fist, banging our hands on the table for the Phillies to sign Jake Arrieta, to, like, spark this new era of thinking for the Phillies and bringing in a new, like, big-time free agent. You know, I remember the Carlos Santana trade, and I remember, you know, some of these trades that just didn't work out. They just didn't work out. But now here we are, one game away. And if you're Aaron Nola, if you are Rhys Hoskins, if you are Gene Segura, Alec Boehm, Matt Vierling, Nick Maton, Zach Wheeler, Bryson Stott, Bryce Harper, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Zach Eflin, and the rest of this team. I'm listing off a bunch of guys that have been here for a while. You know, Segura got here in 2018. This is, like, I think the longest Gene Segura has been with one team in his career, or tied for the longest. You know, you look at some of these guys who have never been to the postseason. Obviously, Bryce has been. I think Gene might have been. And I think Zach Wheeler went with the Mets. But you look at Aaron Nola, JT Realmuto, Rhys Hoskins, Nick Castellanos. I don't know if Nick has ever been to the postseason. Alec Boehm. You know, there are guys on this team that have never seen the postseason. And it feels like, yes, there's been the ups and downs of, like, a potential collapse here over the last 2 weeks. But, man, does the vibe and the energy of this team, if they make the postseason, feel like 2007. Feels like they are on that cusp of honing in what it's like to win, what it's like to get to the postseason. And will they win? Who knows? That's why they play the games. But if this team can just get that taste, that feeling, that energy absorption of getting to the playoffs, I think it does wonders for this roster moving forward. And it's like, hey, we want to taste that again. We want to do it, but at our stadium. Because who knows if they end up winning in this wild card series. That would be the only way that they're able to play a home game. But man, I want nothing more than Bryce Harper in a Phillies uniform playing in the postseason. I want nothing more than Rhys Hoskins playing in the postseason. I want nothing more than Aaron Nola pitching in the postseason. Zach Wheeler pitching in the postseason in a Phillies uniform. Like, I'm going to be stupid emotional, and it sounds dumb. It sounds really childish and stupid and dumb. But Monday night, if the Phillies end up beating the Astros, I am going to be ridiculously emotional in the best ways possible. You know, it has been a roller coaster ride of a season. There have been many highs and many lows. But this is a team that felt different from the start, and I think they're going to prove to us that they are different. And come Monday night, this Phillies team is going to clinch a playoff spot for the first time since 2011. And it's going to be an incredible night on the internet. Twitter wasn't around the last time the Phillies made the postseason, I think. Or if it was, but it was like in its weird infancy stages where you had to like text a tweet. I was not on Twitter the last time the Phillies made the postseason. And if we look at the NL East run differential right now, the Atlanta Braves leading the way and leading the division now. LOL Mets. LOL Mets. Braves at plus 186 in the run differential for the NL East, brought to you by the homies over at Pickup. Go to playpickup.com. Start playing the hottest headlines in sports. Rack up points on your fan profiles. Cash them in for prizes on the Pickup Marketplace. It's free to play. Just sign up with your phone number at playpickup.com. Braves at plus 186. The Mets at plus 149. The Phillies at plus 70. The Miami Marlins at minus 96. And the Washington Stolen Franchise Nationals in the basement at minus 235. Unfortunately, my Pittsburgh Pirates' worst record in baseball bet is not going to cash. Came very close, but it's going to fall shy. Pirates at minus 228. Dodgers at plus 333. Yankees at plus 240. Houston at plus 211. Houston also clinched the best record in the American League, so I don't know why they're playing all their guys. But man, I'm so excited for this Phillies team. Like, it's dumb. Who knows how far we get in the postseason, but man, it's going to feel awesome to have playoff baseball back in my life. And it's pretty cool that I hate the Braves, I hate the Mets, and I hate the Nationals. But it's pretty fucking funny that the Braves beat the Mets and swept the Mets out of first place, have the tiebreaker in the NL East now, 2 games up with 3 to play. And I don't even know who the Mets play this week. The Mets play the Nationals, so it's not over yet. And the Braves play the Marlins. Man, it's going to be hilarious if the Mets miss and have to play a Padres team that they're 2-4 against this year and then be on a collision course with the LA Dodgers. Either team. It'd be great if the Mets lost in the wild card round. Man, can you imagine if the Mets lose in the wild card round, the Phillies beat the Cardinals? Oh my God, I would be unbearable. I need that to happen. And I'm quite, we talked about it on the last episode of the pod too. Like, I'm quite okay with the Phillies being the third wild card. I'd much rather have to play the Cardinals than the Mets or the Braves. I think it's a better matchup for the Phillies. I think they, pitching wise, match up better. And I like the spin, the fact that Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina are in their final postseason together, final postseason of their careers, and the bright lights are all over them. The Phillies have nothing to lose, can kind of play loose, can kind of play free. I like that a lot for the Phils. They just got to clinch. They just got to clinch one more. 1. The magic number is 1. Let's go, Phils. I can't wait to tweet the Ring the Bell tweet tomorrow. because I'm going to be ringing my head through a wall. I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited. The craziest part is game 1, I'm going to be at a freaking wedding. I need a TV at that wedding. I need a TV there. Man, we are on the precipice. Like, next weekend, we could be talking about playoff baseball. Wednesday, we could be talking about playoff baseball. Wow. I love the Phils. As much emotional damage as they cause me, I love this fucking team so much. And I can't wait to watch them get back to the postseason. Let's do this. Let's go, Phils. Come on. Magic number's 1. Win and we're in. Think about that. Get excited. I'm pumped. Comment down below how pumped you guys are on YouTube for this Phillies postseason berth that's on the precipice of happening. Also, schedule makers, let's not schedule any team to have a 10-game road trip at the end of the season ever again, while other potential playoff teams have 10-game homestands. That's absolutely absurd. Never again. I can't believe that the Phillies have had to do all of this on the road while the Brewers and the Padres have been at home. That's uncalled for. Phillies more than likely going to finish under 500 on the road too. 47-34 at home. 39-39 on the road right now. Surpassed Matt's win total prediction of 85 though. But if they sweep the Astros, my win total happens. That's kind of wild. Oh, man. Playoff baseball. I am giddy. I am so giddy. And I can't believe the Mets choked away the division. Actually, I can because of the cicadas. It's never the Mets' year. They are the New York cicadas, everybody. Don't ever forget it. Meet the Mets. Meet the Mets. Meet the Mets. The Philadelphia Union unfortunately dropped their match this weekend to Charlotte 4-0. Just didn't have it. Daniel Rios scored all 4 goals for Charlotte to keep Charlotte's postseason hopes alive in the East. Barely hanging on. Don't know if they can actually clinch, though, or not. But the Union going to finish with the best record, I'm pretty sure, in the Eastern Conference. The West, though, LAFC ended up winning their match on Sunday against Portland 2-1. So they have the points total now over the Union at 67, Union at 64. So the Supporter Shield kind of out of the question now, which sucks because I thought it was going to happen, but the Union nonetheless on their way to a postseason berth with the 1 seed. And, sometimes you just have those games, and I'd rather the Union have this kind of clunker now when it necessarily doesn't truly matter per se. Just got to get it done against Toronto on Sunday next week. But I'd rather them have a clunker now than in the postseason. I don't think this is any indication that they're like falling off or anything like that. I just think it was one of those weird instances that, that game happened. So unfortunate, but, decision day on the horizon for the Philadelphia Union. We're going to be prepping for 2 postseason runs here for the Philly boys. And on top of that, the Sixers are back on Monday with preseason basketball against the Brooklyn Nets. Hello, Ben Simmons. How are you? Good to see you, pal. The vibes are great. Tyrese Maxey is pandering to all facets of our company. If Tyrese Maxey wants to come on Streamer Season, talk about Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon anytime, sign on up. We'd love to have you, Tyrese. And going back to the Eagles too, real quick, like the Doug Peterson stuff, I know I touched on it before, but man, it was really cool. Jason Kelce with the jacket swap saying that he was going to frame it. with the rest of his jerseys and everything. Was super cool. Jalen Hurts, like I said, saying that he's an Eagle because of Doug is really awesome. And it was just such a cool moment. That's my moment of the week. Maybe we start doing that on this show too. Shout out to the segments. But it was super cool to just see the love and just like admiration for Doug Peterson before the game from the fans, and then after the game from all of his former players. It was super special to really take in and watch, and I was happy that that's how it went, how it should have gone, and I think it went perfectly, and was capped off with an Eagles win. But we'll be back on Wednesday night, myself and Matt, live on twitch.tv/undergroundsportsphi. But I do want to say this now. When the YouTube channel gets to more subscribers than we have Twitch followers, we are transitioning our Twitch channel to full-time gaming. So then our YouTube channel will be the primary home of all of our shows that typically go live. Gonna just transition it over there. That is where we're trying to grow big time, and then use our Twitch channel for big time gaming and everything. Kind of get that back under control with gaming. And make the most sense for everybody who's coming to us for content. But for right now, twitch.tv/undergroundsportsphi every single Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Matt and I will be talking Eagles, Phillies, Union, Sixers, Survivor. I still have to catch up on this week's episode of Survivor. We'll be talking about it all. And that's why you got to follow us on the socials at UndergroundPHI on Twitter, on Instagram. We are also officially, I know I touched on it already, but I'm going to say it again. We are officially Diamondbacks Stan account for this week as the break glass in case of emergency type John. So Diamondbacks, welcome to the underground. We love you. Do the damn thing. Beat the Brewers. It would be great. Great. Just ask the Marlins how fun it was. Diamondback Stan account. Shout out to the D-backs. Follow us at UndergroundPHI on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311. Check out the website, undergroundsportsphiladelphia.com. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. And leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. It really, really helps, guys, and it means a lot. I know we sound like a broken record every single week, but it really helps the show continue to grow and get to where we want to take this thing. Helps more people understand what we're trying to do on the outside looking in optics, and it helps more people find the show and join the underground community, and that's exactly what we want. So subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple and Spotify and leave those 5-star reviews. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Just search Underground Sports Philadelphia on YouTube. You'll find us. That's where all of our shows are on that channel currently. And you get full video episodes of every single show. It's simple as that. Smash the like button. Ring the bell icon. Comment down below your thoughts on the Eagles being 4-0. The Phillies on the brink of making the postseason. And anything else in between. Hashtag DBacks fan account in the comment section below as well. Want to see if you guys are listening. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're on that road to 1K. We need to get to 1K. That's the first big milestone on YouTube for us. Need to get to 1,000 subscribers. So subscribe. We're on that road to 1K Gauntlet Challenge. You already know what's going down. Big thank you to our sponsors who make this show happen. Main Auto LLC, Ducharme's Pro Foot, Security 21 Security Systems, Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated, and the Dental Wellness Center of Vineland. Tomahawk Shades, Pickup, Kenwood Beer, and Bino Board. All of their info is linked in the show notes on audio and in the description on YouTube. But this has been episode number 469. Nice. Of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. Till Wednesday night. We'll see you there. Talking everything that you guys want us to talk about. Eagles, Phillies, Sixers, Union, Survivor. You already know what it is. Till Wednesday night, 7 Eastern time. I'm getting the heck out of here. And I'm signing off. Peace.